that I feel I need to rise to perhaps balance the sides of this debate, and also because I attach my name to Amendment 244 in the name of the Noble Lady Baroness Finlay. And I'd like to associate myself with everything said by the Noble Lady Baroness Finlay and the Noble Lady Baroness Boycott, in particular, also the Noble Lord Krebs, who made powerful, very well-evidenced presentations of why we need to see action here. Given the time, and I have a train to catch, I'm going to be very brief. First of all, Noble Lords Lord Black and Moylan in particular talked about freedom of speech, the freedom of the advertisers to push onto children whatever they want to push. Well, I'd like to put against that the freedom to flourish, the freedom to live a healthy, decent lifespan life, and the figures quoted by the Noble Lord Stevens illustrated how that's not being achieved and how there is a deep inequality in our society. And the Noble Lord Lansley talked about how difficult it would be to actually measure, to split out the impact of these measures specifically. We are in a hugely obesogenic environment. The reason why we have this huge problem with obesity is not because human nature has suddenly changed and people have suddenly lost self-control. It's because people are bombarded from all sides with, and I don't think high in fat, sugar and salt goes far enough, barrage with ultra-processed pap, and we should stop all advertising of that ultra-processed pap. But there's evidence that under 11s, primary school kids cannot distinguish between adverts and editorial content. So we have to protect those children. And finally, I think it was the Noble Lord Black asked questions about the international comparisons. And I will note that perhaps one of the most obvious ones is Norway, which in 2012 brought in a ban that was somewhat similar to this. And it has struggled for the reasons outlined by many of the Noble Lords. And indeed, there was a study produced by the Oslo Metropolitan University last year using the categorisation of the WHO European Office for the Prevention and Control of Non-Communicable Diseases. And 8 out of 10 adverts that young people in Norway were seeing online were for unhealthy food. So that's a problem, but that's not an argument for doing nothing. It's an argument for tackling that whole obesogenic environment which our young people are growing up in with demonstrable effects. And I'd note that Norway, which has taken action, and I note that among the other countries taking similar action to what we're talking about today are Spain, Portugal, Slovenia, Latvia, Lithuania, and that's just a short list. Norway has half the level of childhood obesity that we have and regards it as a serious problem.